नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो
भगवते
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं
सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
उत्तमश्लोके
भगवते श्लोके
निर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भवति नैष्टिकी।
Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 15. Pandavas retired timely. Thus far in this chapter, first of all, even before this chapter, there was indications which Yudhishthir Maharaj saw. So many inauspicious symptoms, so many bad omens. So he thought by this probably something is wrong, and actually thought must be the Lord as Lord Krishna has winded up his pastimes in this material world. So in his discussion with Bhimasena, he was already pointing out so many bad omens, so many changes that he could see. Then after Arjuna came, so then again Arjuna questioned Arjuna about why he is so despondent, why he is so sad. So then again he was giving so many reasons, but at the end of it, he concluded that must be Krishna has finally wound up his pastimes. So then Arjuna confirmed it. Arjuna confirmed as the Lord has finished his manifest pastimes. And now we see this section. First of all, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he is already ready. He is just waiting for the indication. The whole life, they were waiting for the indications from the Lord. And because of the Lord's will, he took up the reins as the king or emperor of the whole world. Otherwise, Yudhishthir Maharaj, we hear, just like Arjuna declined to fight in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Even after winning the war, he was not ready to accept the reins of the throne. But it was the Lord's will, and through Bhishma Pitamaha, so he could understand this is the will of the Lord, and then he took it up as a devotional service to the Lord. But now the Lord having finished his pastimes, Yudhishthir Maharaj also got the indication that he should also prepare himself, or he should also go back to home, back to Godhead. So, and he could not tolerate the separation from the Lord. That's the main thing. He cannot tolerate the devotees, pure devotees cannot tolerate simple separation. So long the Lord was there. So he was there carrying out his all the so-called worldly duties, but in a spirit of complete devotion. It was a devotional service as a Rajarshi. He administered the rule perfectly. Everybody were happy in his kingdom. But for himself, he felt, yes, that is enough. So now he himself, having seen the Lord also, Lord has disappeared from the world. He could not bear the separation. So in that separation, so he also will go back to home, back to God. This is section that we are hearing now. Text 36. Yada mukundo bhagavan imam mahim jahau swatanva shravaniya satkata tadahar eva pratibuddha chetasam abhadrahetu kaliranva vartata. When the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, left this earthly planet in his self-same form. From that very day, Kali, who had already partially appeared, became fully manifest to create inauspicious conditions for those who are endowed with a poor fund of knowledge. So as we might have noticed, so the Lord appeared at the end, as we know, Krishna appeared at the end of Dwapara Yuga. So it was almost overlapping the beginning of Kali Yuga. So technically speaking, even though the actual age of Kali had started, still it is said the influence, the symptoms were not manifest because still the Lord was there. So the Lord, so long the Lord is there, nothing inauspicious, nothing bad can manifest. So even though Kali Yuga is said to be age full of vice, because the Lord was still there, Lord Krishna was there in his manifest pastimes. So the effect of Kali did not come in. So now it is said here, but now it became fully manifest. So the influence of Kali. So it is said Kali Yuga means starts from 75% vice, and finally it goes to 100%. Satya Yuga, there is 100% virtue. Treta Yuga, 25% is introduced. Dwapara Yuga, further another 25%. And Kali Yuga, it starts with just 25% of virtue and finally goes to 0. That is the Kali Yuga. So this was manifest, but again it is said, still it creates inauspicious conditions for those who are endowed with a poor fund of knowledge. So then Prabhupada's purport, very nice purport, is telling the influence of Kali can be enforced only upon those who are not fully developed in Krishna consciousness. One can utilize the effects of Kali by keeping oneself fully under the supreme care of the personality of Godhead. But said, though it is the age of Kali, though the time is like that, just like the example is given. Rainy season means it will rain. So, but we can protect ourselves. We can have an umbrella, we can, whatever raincoat, whatever different ways we can protect. Similarly, it is said, though Kali Yuga is like this, it's the age of vice. So, if we are developed in Krishna consciousness, if we develop ourselves, so we can neutralize the effect. We can be free from the effects of Kali Yuga. Yudhishthirastad parisarpanam buddha purecha rashtracha grihe tatatmani vibhavya lobhan rata jihma imsa nadi adharma chakram gamanaya paryadhat. Maharaj Yudhishthira was intelligent enough to understand the influence of the age of Kali, characterized by increased avarice, falsehood, cheating, and violence throughout the capital, state, home among individuals. So he wisely prepared himself to leave home and he dressed accordingly. Anyway, Yudhishthira Maharaj is noticing all these things, is noticing the onset of Kali Yuga. But main thing for him is separation from the Lord. So because of that, he will want to return to the Lord. But still, as a matter of course, there was also this Kali Yuga which has started with all its symptoms. So you could notice it. You could notice that there is so much falsehood, so much greediness, so much cheating, so much violence. So it was just introduction of that. It was not that it was rampant or anything like that, because Yudhishthira Maharaj had completely kept the Kali Yuga under abeyance. So being a perfect representative of the Lord, so he was able to maintain the rules of Dharma. But still, just some indications, some symptoms here and there. That was enough for him to detect that by his own assumption that Krishna has left this world. And now it is confirmed by Arjuna. So a small indication itself, it is said here, is wisely prepared himself. So it is said in that sense, he's prepared himself to leave home. So it is said, so preparation for the next stage of life. So he was in the role of a grihastha, a householder, and in the role of a king, worldly king. So he's preparing himself. He's preparing himself means he's retiring. So that is the Vedic system wherein not the complete till the end of life, one carries on with his so-called duties. So so-called duties are there in a particular station of life for a particular period of time. It is not for all the time. So Yudhishthir Maharaj as a perfect king, even a royal head. So he also has a time to retire. So there is a Panchasordham Vanam Brajet. In present time, it is said like that. Previously, of course, it was a longer duration of life. So they used to live long. So their retirement age is also at a later stage. So maybe Yudhishthira Maharaj in that way could have lived even more because he was not, he was in the, he was a person at the end of Dwapara Yuga, overlapping Kali Yuga. So he could have lived longer also. But still, as an ideal ruler, ideal king, so he's setting an example that everybody should retire. Everybody should call the day, should quit their so-called duties, roles in the society. So as a king, it is said here, he is quitting now. He is preparing himself. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport is telling, just now we have passed 5,000 years of Kali Yuga. Not much. And Kali Yuga is still remaining 4,27,000 years. And in this 5,000 years, we are seeing so much the symptoms of Kali Yuga, namely avarice, falsehood, diplomacy, cheating, nepotism, violence, and all such things are already in vogue. And no one can imagine what is going to happen gradually with further increase of the influence of Kali till the day of annihilation. So we have already come to know that the influence of the age of Kali is meant for godless, so-called civilized man. Those who are under the protection of the Lord have nothing to fear from this horrible age. So the next verse. A retired old gentleman should take lessons from him and leave home for spiritual realization before being forcefully dragged away to meet death. So anyway, death will come. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. If not day after tomorrow, after few months, after few years. It has to come. So it is better to prepare oneself. Just like here, it is said, Yudhishthira Maharaj prepared himself. He wisely prepared himself to leave home. So it is a duty of everyone to follow the footsteps of Yudhishthira Maharaj and prepare ourselves. Swarat pautram vinayinam atmana sosamam gunai toya nipya patim bhumer abhyashinchet gajahvaye. Thereafter, in the capital of Hastinapura, he enthroned his grandson, who was trained and equally qualified as the emperor and master of all land bordered by the seas. So Maharaj Yudhishthir, up until that time, the king, the emperor, who used to rule from Hastinapur, used to rule over the whole world. It was not just a patch of land, what we call today India. No, it was a Bharata Varsha. Bharata Varsha refers to the whole earthly planet, bordering all the oceans, all the seas, all the lands. So such was the imperial position of the ruler in the previous times. And Yudhishthir Maharaj still, he gave it up. He gave it up voluntarily, he gave it up. So we heard previous word. Because he voluntarily gave it up, and the next ruler is also ready. So he has trained up the next ruler, his grandson, Maharaj Parikshit. So Maharaj Parikshit has all the good qualities, like his grandfather. He is also a great Rajarshi. So it is said he's trained up. The next person is already ready. So once somebody is ready, next, so he is ready to give up the position. So he doesn't want to wait till the last moment when he's forcefully dragged down by death. So that was the system. That is the ideal system. The only reason why was the king of Hastinapur, at least till the time of Maharaj Parikshit, accepted as the emperor of the world? The only reason is that people of the world were happy because of the good administration of the emperor. The happiness of the citizens was due to ample production of natural produce such as grains, fruits, milk, herbs, valuable stones, minerals, and everything that the people needed. They were even free from all bodily miseries, anxieties of mind, and disturbances caused by natural phenomena and other living beings. Because everyone was happy in all respects, there was no resentment. Although there sometimes were battles between the state kings for political reasons and supremacy. Everyone was trained to attain the highest goal of life, and therefore the people were also enlightened enough not to quarrel over trivialities. So there was no fights for small reasons. Sometimes it used to be there. And mostly it is said, reason mostly is to be that one king is not following. One king is adharmic. So other king will take it as a inspiration from the Lord to set up dharma. Then he will fight. So that's how it's a dharma yuddha. It is not whimsical that both the kings want power, want this. No, it was not like that. So Maharaj Parikshit was posted as the emperor at Hastinapura. Mathurayam tatta vajram shurasena patim tataha prajapatyam nirupyeshtim agnin apibat ishvaraha. Then he posted Vajra, the son of Aniruddha, grandson of Lord Krishna at Mathura, as the king of Shurasena. Afterwards, Maharaj Yudhishthira performed a Prajapatya sacrifice and placed in himself the fire for quitting household life. So why was Vajra posted at Mathura? Because what I mean to say is they were all in Dwaraka. So why he came to Mathura? Anybody can answer?
So were all broken and all that. They have to be renovated, Prabhuji.
Okay, but they could have done from Dwaraka. Why they have to come to Mathura?
Yeah, the last
wanted him to be there for Yudhishthira. Wait.
No,
Because
we heard
all
this
Yadus
was
got
already.
annihilated.
So Dwarka is also gone under water now.
So he wanted to save him, to give information to Arjuna who will be going.
Mataji?
So is it because he wanted to be there to inform that what happened to Yadus?
Yeah. No, what I'm trying to say is I'm feeling because Dwarka is already gone down now. So there is no question of anybody ruling there, living there.
Okay.
To preservation of Yadu dynasty, he wanted somebody to continue the Yadu's lineage.
So they have to come to Mathura only because previously they were in charge of Mathura.
Correct.
Before Vishwakarma built Dwaraka, there was no Dwaraka. Practically, Dwarka was underwater. Was a land, was under the in the sea basically. So he created it for the Lord's sake, for the pleasure of the Lord. And now the Lord has wound up his pastime, and all the Vedus are also finished. So they again come back to Mathura. So they are actually from Mathura, the Yadus, the Yandaka, Bhoja, all these dynasties. But because of Jarasandha, Krishna transferred them to Dwaraka. And now Dwaraka is anyway destroyed. So again they are brought back. They brought back and they are there in Mathura. So Vajra takes charge now as a representative now, as the descendant who is still living. So he takes charge of Mathura. And as all of you said, somebody said he had to establish Krishna's. So he has to, Krishna's deities were established. So just so that the remembrance of the Lord continues. So all those things, so many things. Yes. So many other reasons also. Yes. So Vajranab was posted at Mathura as the king of Shurasena. Afterwards, Maharaj Yudhishthira performed a Prajapatya sacrifice and placed in himself the fire for quitting household life. So whatever, some other rituals maybe. So he underwent whatever required so that fully absorbs himself in devotional service to the Lord. Some ritualistic sacrifice that also he underwent. So again, Prabhupada is telling here, modern politicians do not wish to retire from active life, even if they are old enough. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, as an ideal king, voluntarily retired from active administrative life to prepare himself for the next life. Everyone's life must be so arranged that the last stage of life, say at least the last 15-20 years prior to death, can be absolutely devoted to the devotional service of the Lord to attain the highest perfection of life. It is really foolishness to engage oneself all the days of one's life in material enjoyment and fruitive activities. Because as long as the mind remains absorbed in fruitive work for material enjoyment, there is no chance of getting out from conditional life of material bondage. No one should follow the suicidal policy of neglecting one's supreme task of attaining the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead. Sorry for the interruption. Yes, so no one should follow the suicidal policy of neglecting one's supreme task of attaining the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead. So Maharaj Yudhishthira did all his duties perfectly. He posted also the next person to be his successor, not only at Hastinapura, but also at Mathura. Because he's the emperor, so his emperor is also responsible for all the subsidiary kings. Yadus were, though they are associates of the Lord, they voluntarily accepted subordination to the king of Hastinapur. So it was his responsibility, his duty, finally. So he posted Vajra to take up the reins at Mathura. Visrajya tatra tatsarvam dukula valayadikam nirmamo nirahankaraha sanchinnashesha bandhanaha. Maharaj Yudhishthira at once relinquished all his garments, belt and ornaments of the royal order and became completely disinterested and unattached to everything. So Srila Prabhupada's purport, to become purified of material contamination is the necessary qualification for becoming one of associates of the Lord. No one can become an associate of the Lord or go back to Godhead without such purification. No one can become associate of the Lord or can go back to Godhead without such purification. Maharaj Yudhishthira, therefore, to become spiritually pure, at once gave up his royal opulence, relinquishing his royal dress and garments. The kashaya or saffron loincloth of a sannyasi indicates freedom from all attractive material garments, and thus he changed his dress accordingly. Yes, then Srila Prabhupada is talking about various kinds of designations we are attached. People are generally attached to various kinds of designations. The designations of family, society, country, occupation, wealth, position, many others. As long as one is attached to such designations, is considered materially impure. Sarvopadi vinirvuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. So designations. The so-called leaders of men in the modern age are attached by national consciousness, but they do not know that such false consciousness is also another designation of the materially conditioned souls. One has to relinquish such designations before one can become eligible to go back to Godhead. Foolish people adore such men who die in national consciousness. But here is an example of Maharaj Yudhishthira, a royal king, who prepared himself to leave this world without such national consciousness. And yet he is remembered even today because he was a great pious king, almost on the same level with the personality of Godhead Sri Rama. And because people of the world were dominated by such pious kings, they were happy in all respects, and it was quite possible for such great emperors to rule the world. So Srila Prabhupada is telling national consciousness, national consciousness, national consciousness. Today, that is considered highest. But it is said Maharaj Yudhishthira prepared himself to leave this world without such national consciousness. So that is the right way of giving up the material world. So if we are attached to anything in this world, accordingly we have to take our next birth. So whatever our thoughts at the time of death, whatever our attachments, the same thing, next life. So if we are attached to a nation, so we'll have to take birth in the same nation. So if not in the body of a human being, at least in the body of some animal, we have to take birth. So as Prabhupada gives that example, that America So people are the Americans, if they're to his students in a class, he says, "You're very proud of becoming an American." Yes. So, but if you die in that national consciousness, you will mostly you'll become an American because people are doing sinful activities also side by side in the Kali Yuga. So they are killing, suppose in the country of America, so much animal slaughter, so much cow slaughter. So he says, so you are a national, so you are proud of your nation, so you'll become an American cow, and then you will have to die, because in that country the cows are not protected, they are killed. So you are, after national consciousness, you will take birth in the same country, same nation, but as per the karma, you'll have to take birth as an animal, and then again, birth, death, birth, death. So it goes on. So this is national consciousness. No use of that. So the whole society today, the politics, the sports, so all this, it all is just more and more pushing the national consciousness. So it's all forced identification with the body, the designations of the body. It's a material contamination. So the more we voluntarily try to free ourselves from this, so the more we prepare ourselves on the way back home, back to God. Otherwise, this national consciousness, it just pulls us back. It just pulls us back into the so-called existence wherever we are. So warning by Srila Prabhupada about national consciousness in this verse. So there is no use cultivating this national consciousness. Any consciousness for that matter, any material designation. Particularly today's time, it is national consciousness, nationality, my state, my country. So much attachment for this. As long as one is attached to such designations, he is considered materially impure. The so-called leaders of men in the modern age are attached by national consciousness, but they do not know that such false consciousness is also another designation of the material conditioned soul. One has to relinquish such designations before one can become eligible to go back to Godhead. Vacham juhava manasi tat prana itare chatam ratyavapanam sotsargam tam panchatvehi ajo havit. Then he amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind, then the mind into life, life into breathing, his total existence into the embodiment of the 5 elements, and his body into death. Then as pure self, he became free from the material conception of life. So it is said here, Maharaj Yudhishthir, like his brother Arjuna, began to concentrate and gradually became freed from all material bondage. So a few verses before we heard how, though Arjuna was so much dejected, he started remembering the instructions of the Lord from Bhagavad Gita, and he felt himself relieved. Similarly, Maharaj Yudhishthir also has heard enough. He has heard enough. So he is again recollecting those instructions, and he completely absorbs himself on the Lord. So he also becomes totally free from all material contamination. Tritve utvacha panchatvam tachaikatve ajon munihi sarvam atmanya juhavit brahmanya atmanam abhyaye. Thus annihilating the gross body of 5 elements into 3 qualitative modes of material nature, emerge them in one nishayans and then absorb the nishayans in the self, Brahman, which is inexhaustible in all circumstances. चिरावास निराहारो बद्धवान मुक्त मूर्धजः दर्शयन्नात्मनो रूपम जडोन्मत्त पिशाचवत् अनवेक्षमाणो निरगात अशृण्वन् बधिरो यथा. After that, Maharaj Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. So in the beginning, he was still living in the palace only, though Maharaj Parikshit was enthroned. He had immediately not gone away. Looks like he was still there amongst them, but completely became indifferent to everybody. It's just like a deaf man, just like a madman. So his behavior was like that. Thus, being freed from all external affairs, he had nothing to do with imperial life or family prestige. And for all practical purposes, he posed himself exactly like an inert mad urchin. and did not speak of material affairs. He had no dependence on his brothers who had all along been helping him. So we are not to imitate all these activities of Maharaj Yudhishthir, but previous ages, people used to follow, used to have this life. Udichim parviveshe sham gata purva mahatma bhi ridi brahma param dhyayan navarteta yato gataha. He then started towards the north, treading the path accepted by his forefathers and great men, to devote himself completely to the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he lived in that way wherever he went. So next, he left his palace. So he went. So I think north means they were going towards the Himalayas. That is how it is said. They used to go there. They used to take shelter of the Lord, living independently. So he was following the path accepted by his forefathers. So everybody used to follow like that previously. The whole Vedic culture, everybody used to do that. It is understood from this verse that Maharaj Yudhishthir followed in the footsteps of his forefathers and the great devotees of the Lord. We have discussed many times before that the system of Varnashrama Dharma, as it was strictly followed by the inhabitants of the world, specifically by those who inhabited the Aryavarta province of the world, emphasizes the importance of leaving all soul connections at a certain stage of life. All household connections at a certain stage of life. So that such kind of training was there. The brahmacharya life training was there. So then automatically, even though they are in grihastha ashram, then at a mature time, they used to voluntarily go for vanaprastha ashram, then sannyasa ashram. So it used to be very systematic. It used to be natural for everybody. So Yudhishthira Maharaj accepted this. Thus, Maharaj Yudhishthira, while leaving home for the north, constantly remembered Lord Sri Krishna within himself, following the footsteps of his forefathers, as well as the great devotees of all times. Sarve tam anu nirjagmur bhratarah kritanishchaya kalina dharma mitrena drishtva sprishta praja bhuvi. The younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthira observed that the age of Kali had already arrived throughout the world and that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by religious practice. Therefore, they decided to follow in the footsteps of their elder brother. So Maharaj Yudhishthira has gone away. So now his brothers, Bhimasena, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. So it was not required for Maharaj Yudhishthira to instruct them on this. So they were also intelligent enough. And they also prepared themselves. So the next one of the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, at the last stage of life, it is like flying an aeroplane. So aeroplane, once it is in the space or in the air, so any other aeroplane which is also traveling alongside cannot protect the aeroplane. So there are so many people who are, so many airplanes going around, but it is said no other airplane can save if any airplane comes in danger. So it is not possible. So it is like that. So our existence is like that. So every one of us are individual. So finally, whatever assistance we get from Guru, from Shastra, from other devotees, so that all is like taking help at the ground before the aeroplane takes off. Once in the air, we are independent. We have to drive independently. We are responsible for ourselves. So it is said here very nicely. Every one of them, each one of them took care of themselves. Yudhishthira Maharaj was took care, then followed by his younger brothers, then followed by Draupadi and Subhadra. They also take care of themselves. Everybody are trained up. Everybody is responsible. Te sadhu krita sarvartha gnatvatyantikam atmanaha manasa dharayam asur vaikunta charanambujam. They all had performed all the principles of religion and as a result rightly decided that the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore, they meditated upon his feet without interruption. Tadhyano bhaktya vishuddha dishana paray tasmin narayana pade ekanta matayo gatim avapurdurava pamte asadbir vishayatma bhi vidhuta kalmashastanam viraje atmanaiva hi. Thus, by pure consciousness, due to constant devotional remembrance, they attain the spiritual sky, which is ruled over by the Supreme Narayana, Lord Krishna. This is attainable. This is attained only by those who meditate upon the one Supreme Lord without deviation. This abode of the Lord Sri Krishna, known as Goloka Vrindavan, cannot be attained by persons who are absorbed in the material conception of life. But the Pandavas, being completely washed of all material contamination, attained that abode in their very same bodies. So it is said here, Atman eva hi Viduta Kalmasha Sthanam Virajena Atmanevahi. So it is said they attained the supreme destination in the same body. Anyway, it is said the pure devotees who are completely dedicated to the Lord have spiritualized their material body. The example is given just like you hold a iron rod in fire. The iron rod will become fire. And whatever it touches, it has the effect of fire. It burns. Or a copper wire in touch of with electricity, it carries the full power of electric powerhouse. So like that it is said, these pure devotees in complete Krishna consciousness, their bodies become spiritualized. And that is why as a mark of respect, the sannyasis, their body is not burnt. Generally, the Vedic custom is everybody's body is burnt. But somebody who is a pure devotee, somebody who is in that highest renounced order of life. So for them, it is said, their body is spiritualized. It's considered spiritual. Their body is no longer considered material. So in that respect, it is not burnt. Rather, it is samadhi. It is buried. Viduro api parityajya prabhase deham atmanaha krishna veshena tachittaha pitribi swakshayam yayo. Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa. Because he was absorbed in thought of Krishna, he was received by the denizens of the Prithviloka planet, where he returned to his original post. So Vidura is also a great devotee, Mahajana, Yamaraja himself, but he still has his duties to perform in this world. So Krishna has given him a particular kind of service in this material world, so he has to continue. He was just given a small break from his work as Yamaraj, so that's how he came as Vidura. And after finishing that, he again went back to his position as Yamaraj. Though he's a pure devotee, still he's in the material world, doing his duties in devotional service to the Lord as a perfect representative of the Lord. So he's still doing Vidura. So Vidura did not go back home, back to Godhead in that sense. So he remained in this material world, posted in his whatever particular service, his service as Yamaraj. Draupadi cha tadagnaya patinam anapekshatam vasudeve bhagavati hekanta matir apatam. Draupadi also saw that her husbands, without caring for her, were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and attained the same results as their husbands. So Draupadi and Subhadra also, so they did not protest. Oh, all our husbands have left us. They did not protest. So they knew the inevitable time, the inevitable kala, the death is fast approaching. So everybody has to take care of themselves. So they had no regrets. So they also were fully accepted, fully welcomed the situation, and then prepared themselves. And they also went back home, back to Godhead. They attained the same results as their husbands. Yashadayai tad bhagavat priyanam pando sutanam iti samprayanam shunotyalam swastyayanam pavitram labdva haro bhakti mupeti siddhim. The subject of the departure of the sons of Pandu for the ultimate goal of life, back to Godhead, is fully auspicious and is perfectly pure. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with devotional faith certainly gains the devotional service of the Lord, the highest perfection of life. Srimad Bhagavatam is a narration about the personality of Godhead and the devotees of the Lord, like the Pandavas. The narration of the personality of Godhead and his devotees is absolute in itself. And thus to hear it with a devotional attitude is to associate with the Lord and constant companions of the Lord. By the process of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one can attain the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead without failure. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Pandavas retire timely. Okay. One thing, there is here a discussion. That is what maybe you can all discuss. Group activity, group discussion. What all practical applications, lessons can we draw from Pandavas retiring in a timely manner and ultimately going back to home, back to God? 20 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. You can all discuss this, 5 different groups, and then you can present from each group. Somebody can present. Before that, Deeptimati Kalindi Mataji, you had something to ask. You can unmute Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in this verse, text 39. Sorry, in this verse, I don't remember it. Prabhuji, it is mentioned, no, that Vidura, he went back to be, to handle Pitralok. So, Prabhuji, is Pitralok and Yamlok, because Yamlok is a different place, no? So,
They are nearby. I think they are just side by, something like that. Very near.
So, he is handling both of them, is it? Because Aryama is the...
Aryama is supposed to be the Pitralok in charge, and he took the place in charge of, in place of Yamaraj.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are more or less, I think, nearby and...
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
So maybe now Mohandas Prabhu, you want to divide the devotees? Or Rasarangini, Radhika Mata, you want to divide them?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, you tell how many Mohandas Prabhu would like to do the breakout rooms we can do.
Yeah, there are 49 participants.
We'll do that.
How many we should do?
You like to have some 7, or you want to have like 10, so that we'll have 5 groups and 5 times. Is that okay? 10 in a group? You tell me, Prabhu.
Yeah, 8 is also okay, I think. So
8 in a group.
6 groups then.
Done.
6 groups we'll make.
I'm just creating, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Is it coming? Yeah, it's going. I request the devotees to join, because you will get that request. We request devotees, to go to the breakout room. Revati Mataji, Reena Mataji. Venkatanashim Prabhu, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Once for a second it came, it went again. It's not visible in the screen, Mataji.
Which number came, Mataji, for you?
One came, I couldn't see it immediately within not in a half second I can see immediately.
No problem. I'm just asking, do you remember which room number it is?
No, that's what I'm saying.
No problem. No problem. Just 1 second.
Sorry, Mataji.
That's okay. I'm just... Not able to spot you. Just 1 second. Revati Mataji, I moved you again. You're coming out. Vijay Kumari Mataji. Reena Mataji, Vijay Kumari Mataji, Nityangani Mataji. I'm not very sure if you all have kept your video off and not responding.
Radhika Mataji, can you put me to room 5? I somehow dropped out.
Who's this?
Sarita here.
Sarita, okay.
I got dropped out by mistake
No
from
problem.
room 5.
Done. Anybody else who's here? Venkat Narasimha Prabhu, you're staying here, not going to the room.
It has gone immediately. I could not be able to.
I'm sending you to your room is room number 1 only. But I can't see room number 1 here because I'm in that room. Huh? Oh, acha. Vijay Mataji, you have not joined your group.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
You have not joined your group. Ani. Putting in the group.
Mataji. I have the English book, Mataji. That's why I joined, Mataji.
Now you will go. Now you will go. I have re-pushed you again into another group.
Yes, Mataji.
You have to join Mataji. I'm clicking. Vijay Mataji, you will be getting a message like click.
Mataji, please share the attendance.
Already shared, Mataji.
I couldn't. Mataji, please once more.
It's there in the chat, Mataji. Now you will see it only when you go to the main room.
Mataji is not visible, so.
Mataji, give us some time, no?
Okay, Mataji.
Towards the end we'll.
Mataji, is it a break room or a main room, Mataji?
Prabhu, can I call them from the breakout rooms? Can I close the rooms?
Yes, Mataji. Maybe for 1 minute, we can give them 1 minute time or whatever.
Okay, no problem, Prabhu. I'll do that. I'll give 1 minute time.
Do that, no? Something like that. Give them.
I'm doing that only, Prabhu. Always say. 1 minute time. Hare Krishna. Default. How would you help, Prabhu? Till we have 30 seconds for better?
I'm fine, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, I forgot the room number.
6.
Okay, thank you.
Mataji, we were in 4, I think. 6. Okay. I don't remember.
It is
Oh
6,
my.
6.
We're 6.
Yeah, 6.
Only
We were
just
in
coming.
6. Should I answer? Or anybody wants to speak?
Mataji, you want to give some chance to particular persons in every group, something like that? Radhika Mataji.
Okay, I'll speak a little, then anybody can follow up with the things. No problem.
Hare Krishna. Whichever team maybe can represent one person from the group and you all can start. If that's okay with you, Prabhu?
Yeah, fine.
Speakers might raise their hands so that you will have easy time.
Yeah.
Mataji.
From room 6, Madhura Mataji is going to represent our room.
Yeah, perfect. So can we start with group 1? I mean, just to have the order.
That will be good, Mataji.
Huh?
That will be good.
Yeah, group 1. We'll go by the order. Group 1. Hare Krishna. Is group 1 ready?
Romana Shubhamay Mataji.
Oh, I'm the one. Okay, sorry. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, group 1, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So here we have the Pandavas didn't want for the crisis or to decline that such in health. As soon as they heard the disappearance of the Lord, they immediately took steps down and realized that their primary purpose on earth was complete. Okay, so then what, like success is not just a thing which we are looking about. We need to live a life in such a way that we know how we live, not the living, how we leave the end of our body. That is very important. So we need to learn vairagya, that is progressive detachments from wealth, family, status, relationships, and accountability towards society, birthplace, and we should be like from even from the profession position, we should know that all these things are temporary, and we should be more attached to the lotus feet of the Lord as a permanent seva or duty. Say karmana yasya kevala devaya seva. So that is what like we have in the Bhagavad Gita, saying that the only Lord is Krishna, and the only Shastra is Bhagavad Gita. The only like mantra is Mahamantra of the Lord, and the only seva is to do Devaya seva. So this is what, and Gayatri Mataji would like, and the quick point is we have to quit while we learn to quit, we have to quit when we are strong, not as forceful because of ill health or when we are forced by a family, then only to quit. That is not the way to quit, but we have to quit when we are strong enough. And then we have to train ourselves for quick replacement, that whenever we need to have some changes, we should be able to transfer immediately to that kind of situation. And we have to prepare ourselves that for the change, because as every day we can feel that we are going closer to Lord, and anything can happen. We have to be ready for the change. So we have to learn detachment from everything, thinking that this is temporary, and the only thing permanent is the lotus feet of the Lord. So Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Gayatri Mataji can say one sloka which she mentioned.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, regarding the detachment and towards the service, Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatpena Nirmalam Rushikena Rushikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. So we need to only serve the Lord, not ourselves or a family or the whatever the attachment we have materially, we should be detached to that and serve towards Lord. That is what is given in Shloka 40. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you,
Very
Prabhuji.
good. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very, very beautifully brought up the thing. We'll move to group 2. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, group 2. Hare Krishna. Okay, we got a lot of valuable lessons from this episode. Like they have decided to live in good state. No, not waiting for the remaining more time to get old age and that condition. So they have voluntarily decided to leave at the right time. So it is a lesson for all of us, all the people here. They should be prepared to leave before bedridden condition or invalid condition or rejected by people, insulted by people. Should not wait for that condition. When they are strong, like Alvar said, when in good condition, one should leave the body. Should not wait for more time to people to insult and become old age and invalid and also. And he was not, he could have continued in the position as emperor, but he has relinquished that. No attachment to the power. Unlike the politicians or anybody, they don't want to give up their position in the society. Here they were, even the emperor, even though he was emperor, he readily relinquished the post and handed over to his grandson, and willingly and happily. So he has finished all this duty. So that's everybody should be following this. We have different stages of life. Brahmacharyam, Grahasthasram, Banaprastham, Sannyasam. So then we should not linger here. We should finish our responsibility and leave. That is the lesson we have to learn. So no attachment for the country. People say our country is Bharat Mata ki Jai. And so this is not supported in the Shastras. So because all are God's creation. So that such as the Prabhu said in the class, such attachment will bring into the same country like some animal or something. So that is also not good. And most importantly, they are fully depending on Krishna. So because with the Krishna has mercy only, we can do anything. With his willing, his desire and his approval only, we can do anything. So most importantly, people have to surrender to Krishna and perform the devotional service to Krishna. Then only we can do anything like this. Otherwise, we will not be able to do anything. So lastly, so everybody should be prepared, and the art of living, one should follow, practice, and because this the end can come anytime. Not like Parikshit Maharaj, he got 1 week. So we don't know about ourselves. So everybody should be prepared in advance. Even even we cannot wait for old age. Although many people are already old age, but even young people can live. So this should be prepared to live any time. and that should be properly prepared, and the art of living should be practiced. I think that's all. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nicely said.
We discussed more than art of living. We should understand how to do the art of living.
Hare Babu. Hare Krishna. Very nicely covered what Srivatsa Prabhu had covered. Can we now go to group 3? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anybody from group 3?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Go ahead.
Here, death is confirmed. Though whoever born on this earth, surely they're going to die. And according to that, one should be prepared with that. Means everybody thinks that we have our material duties, and they feel after 60 we have completed everything and we are retired and our duties completed. But similarly, we have our spiritual duties also. According to Prabhupada, after 50, everybody has to be serious about, completing this material life. We should try to go out of this death and birth cycle. To do that, we need to take bhakti seriously. Otherwise, again and again, taking birth and death, it is simply we're coming and going and no use. Like animals, we are going to be taking a human life. Means we should be serious in taking spirituality. For that, we have to hand over our material duties to the next generation, at least after 50, and we have to be more serious in preparing ourselves for art of death. For that, we have to be ready to face it, and we have to be more serious in that. Similarly, the Pandavas did, the way the Pandavas they took it. When we are going back, the way we came alone, we are going to be going back alone only. So we have to be not depending upon anyone, and we have to be more serious in that. This is what we are coming to know about this. And like attachment towards the family, nation, country, or anything, that always brings a bondage. We have to overcome that. And this is illusion. That illusion we have to overcome. And we should gain this jnana through shastras. For that, we have to learn from the age of 5. We have to start bhakti from the age of 5. Only then we can be serious at the age of 50. Like Vanaprastha, we have to take Vanaprastha. Here in Kali Yuga, we can't go to any Himalayas or forest. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sthanisthita, wherever you are, you have to practice bhakti. That is what we are coming across after hearing all these things. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice analogies, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let's move on to group 4. Anybody from group 4? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Dr. Sarita Mataji, you can.
Haribol.
Krishna Mataji, Krishna. Ours is group 5, Mataji.
Group 5, okay, no
Before
problem.
Mataji for us. Mataji is there for us. Hare Krishna.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead. Anyone from group 4?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yeah, Mataji, from here we say no, that because see, scientifically now these days people want to elongate their life. They are doing DNA gene therapy. They are all going on all the treatments to elongate their life. But see how the life is. What we see these days, practically also, if we see now, see 2 days before, you must have heard also that C.G. Roy, how he killed himself. He was a rich man. All the material opulences are there. 200 cars, 10, 20 Rolls Royce, and all that. But see, what is going on in the Kali Yuga? How Kali has engulfed us very so badly. So that is what they're trying to tell, that Kali already came over there, and that is the time that how we have to disentangle ourselves from the illusion of this world. That is even a bigger challenge, that because that time at least there was some austerity, there was some pureness, Mataji. Now it is even difficult for us to get out of these tentacles of the Kali Yuga. And so that's why the controlling the senses, controlling the mind, how to, because even experimentals are going on, how this stem cell therapy will replace one of the organs, how the further, it's okay as a treatment if the person is suffering, but not to elongate the life as much as we can. Even for the nature, you see how it is differently behaving. People are reclaiming the water and going on and rebuilding the land on it, building the, so these all things, that's why they're trying to tell that you, how humbly this Yudhishthira Maharaj left. He left with the torn clothes. He was not even wearing the dress. He was he wore only torn clothes. He stopped eating, stopped speaking, because he wanted to get like a Jad Bharat he became, so that he wanted to detach from himself. That is what we have to understand, that that is the ultimate of life, because Lord doesn't want our things over there. He doesn't want our opulence, what you gained over here, material things. Lord just wants a bhav. Lord just wants our attention towards him. Lord only wants that how much we are devotional service, how much are we dedicating our life to the Lord. So this is where it tries to tell that all of them went, but all of them went with Vairagya. See, Yudhishthira Maharaj took Vairagya, all the Pandavas took, Dhritarashtra took, Vidura took, everyone took Vairagya. And that is a big lesson for us, that we ought to leave this material world as soon as possible, as soon as our duties are finished. Once we've done our duties, if you're doing a humanity service in the form of duty, is different. But otherwise, if your duties, your family involvements are all done, we ought to take a little backseat, hand it over to the children, and go ahead further with the devotional service. Mother has more to say, but I'll leave time for others. And anyone from our group wants to say, they can add on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Group 5. Two more groups. We have 5, and after that 6 can take over. Very nicely, clearly spotted, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So, Mataji, this is on behalf of the entire team. In case if I miss a few points, Mataji, I would request my team to add on to it, please. So, we would like to start with respect to the entire summary, which we have seen. We won't be able to cover all the points. Lord Krishna, he is like the sun. So, if he is there, then it is possible, just like the sun, when the sun appears, it eliminates darkness and ignorance. Similarly, when the Lord is there in our life, as we have seen from the life of your Pandavas, from the life of all the pure devotees like Kunti Maharani, Vidura, when they were there, we have seen there were no omens. During, as soon as the Lord, he completed his pastimes, he descended to his abode. There were so many omens that were appearing. The Arjuna's dejection, as we have seen. Similarly, we have to compare this when the Lord has gone. Krishna Swadham Upagate Dharma Jnanadi Bisaha Kalau Nashtadrishamesha Puran Arko Adhunodita. So we understand that if the Lord is not there, who is there to guide us? So it is done only by the help of Guru Sadhu Shastra. And so from the dejection also, we understand that when Arjuna was dejected, he took the shelter of Bhagavad Gita, the instructions of the Lord. And even during the last class, we have seen how His Grace Pran Prabhuji has mentioned when Srila Prabhupada ended his Leela, all the devotees, all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were very young, and it was very difficult for them to accept the the anxiety that they were feeling, the sadness, and they also took the shelter of this chapter, and they are considered the constructions of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the way we understand. And not only that, everyone has to take care of their own life. Everyone has to ride their own plane. This is very important. No one is going to come and handhold us for any other things. And it is like, as it is mentioned, that whatever we are doing, it's the preparation, it's just the preparation. So the death is actually a preparation. Actually, death is the examination, and the entire life is the preparation for that exam. And not only that, we understand that when the Lord descended, so the pure devotees like Yudhishthira, Kunti Maharani, everyone, they were so absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord that they really did not want to continue in this material world. Even though they were pure devotees, they were just fulfilling the mission of the Lord. So, and when the mission of the Lord is over, the empowerment also goes away, as we have seen from the last chapter also, what happened with Arjuna. It's not that Arjuna was weak. No, he was not weak, because he's an eternal associate of the Lord. He is from Nar Narayana, he is Nara. But we understand it is only by it was happening because the Lord had empowered everyone since they had appeared in fulfilling the mission of the Lord. And so if one has to really continue in their spiritual consciousness, they have to take it from the beginning itself. There are four varnas. So there are the four social orders are there, and ashramas are there, and the ashramas are mandatory for all of them. And the person has to ensure that it's also mentioned, stated that during, with respect to the vanaprastha, the person is he should accept vanaprastha at the right age, and they should only focus on the devotional service of the Lord. And one of the important points is like they always, a person should always try to focus on the spiritual education and guidance. This is the way Maharaj Yudhishthira was given, even Draupadi was given. So she also attained that guidance and spiritual knowledge, spiritual education, since they were Raja Rishis, they were from the royal family, so they understood this. And I would like to request Mataji's if they could add a few more points onto it. Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. So many people have, so many devotees have spoken already, and from our group also Mataji has just now spoken. So some few points. So-called duties are there for the particular period of time only, not for all the time. This is what we fail to recognize. We think that whatever our duties are there, they are forever, for till as long as we pull on, we try to do. But Shastra says that Panchashatam Varshe Vanam Gachet. So how we have to realize all these Shastra and how we have to understand is by following the Sadhu Shastra and Guru Margadarshana. So with that only we have to understand and see this Parikshit Maharaj and this Yudhishthira Maharaj and all these Rajarshis, they followed the Shastra. So they are the guidelines for us. We will not, we are very, difficult for us to follow that. But we have to understand and realize this through our Shiksha Gurus and through our Shastras, Bhagavatam, since we are doing all reading this Bhagavatam daily. So we have to understand this because most of the people do not understand what is the spiritual duty. So everybody tries to fulfill their materialistic duty, and we stick on to this materialistic duty. We do not realize the spiritual duty. So first of all, we should understand we cannot continue this dark well of materialistic household life, because death is going to drag by the order of will of Yamaraja. One day or other, we have to leave this world. So Jatasya Maranam Dhruvam. So that's why we have to get awakened fast by Shastras and by Gurus. And then in this, already Mataji has told that we have to fly our own airplane because we have to see our own path. So all these things I wanted to add. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Then room 6.
Hare Krishna, I think room 6 is presented, Prabhu. Like after 5 immediately.
No,
6
no.
to no? Acha, sorry, I got confused. Yeah, please go ahead.
So various points were given by I have taken the intake from everyone. So I will start with the Bhagavad Gita shloka, wherein in shloka number 7.14, the Lord says, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Durattaya. So the thing is that, what we see in our present day, the politicians, the actors, the businessmen, they do not wish to retire from their work. And yet they are role models for the society. So that is what the Lord says, that this energy, the Lord's energy consisting of the three modes of nature, Mahamaya, is very, very difficult to overcome. But also here in this chapter, we learn from Maharaj Yudhishthir that nobody should actually continue their service until and unless death drags them. So one should be prepared, because the Lord also told that this world is dukhalayam ashashwatam. So this is an ocean of dukha, that is sadness, and this is temporary. This is not permanent. So from Lord Yudhishthir, we should learn that as soon as the next generation is ready to take up responsibilities, we should retire from our household work and step forward in the path of spirituality, because we need to move ahead in the path of spirituality, because we need to reach back home, back to Godhead. And for that, again, we learn from Yudhishthir Maharaj that we need to give up all our material designations, like our relationships, our works, our which family we belong, who we are. We should leave all that and take the path of spirituality, because the Lord says that bhaktya mam abhijanati. That is also from Bhagavad Gita. So the Lord says that one who understands me as the supreme personality of Godhead, and one who renders unalloyed devotional service, okay, only then he will be eligible to enter the kingdom of God, or enter the spiritual or the permanent home. So like the modes of nature, there are various kinds of entanglement, like even when the children, they are at their 40s or 50s, the parents are still worried. They say, no, let them settle down, let the grandchildren settle down, then I will start. But no, that is not the way. The moment the next generation is ready, we need to step forward, and we need to devote the entire time of the day, keeping Krishna in the center, or render a devotional service, and utilize everything, whatever we have, utilize everything for the service of the Lord. Only then we will be able to move forward. So I think our time was up when Shanti Mataji was about to give me a point, so I could not take down the last point. If Shanti Mataji, would you please give your last point?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, that was from chapter 42. It is called the Jivan Mukta stage, or liberated stage. So where one must not only think that he is Brahman, he must act like Brahman. So he should free himself from this material world. That is the point I wanted to add, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, everybody.
Prabhuji, please share the attendance link.
Prabhuji, I wanted to say something.
Mataji.
Yeah. See, all of them spoke. I heard it was very nice. Yudhishthira Maharaj and I mean, they had the, I mean, the I would say power to leave. I mean, depart when they wanted to. But in Kali Yuga, though we are old, though we are ailing, we have no choice. People say that till the death point we should not live. I mean, we should decide to go. But is the choice there with us? Do we have the choice in Kali Yuga?
So do we really get a choice there? So situation like that, like
there's no choice, Prabhu. There's no choice. See, if you're ailing also, those days were different, Pandavas were very great souls. But now in Kali Yuga, though you're ailing, they were getting into coma too, but then unless the doctor decides, something ultimately keeping the parents and taking the parents and people into confidence, I mean, the relationships into confidence, I think I've seen people living in coma for several years. Because their own people don't want them to, I mean, leave this earth. And he's in coma. So we have no choice in this particular yuga. Suffering or no suffering, we have no choice. That's what my feeling.
One way, I don't know, we can just discuss Srila Prabhupada himself towards the end of his pastime. So he did not insist. Instead he said his disciples, don't take me to the hospital. He said that, what is the last wish? He said, don't take me there like that. So he didn't want to die like that with all the pipes, all those. Today somehow that is how we see people around us dying, and we also start believing it that some miracle will happen or something will. Otherwise, one way our death is fixed, whatever is there, whatever time, so many breaths or whatever, nothing can prolong that. So, but somehow we seem to believe that with all this intensive care unit, ICU and all, we'll come out, we'll still get back to our life. Like that. But
Without going to hospital also, Prabhuji, at
Yeah.
home too, people
Yeah.
linger on, they keep on suffering and living for
Yeah.
years together. They have no choice. In Kali Yuga, that power is not
It
there.
depends, depends on the situation, the society we are in, the relatives we are in. Many times I see the relatives don't even inform the dying person. Sometimes some incidences which I've seen, they think that if we inform them, it will be difficult for them to live, because that is also there. People, we are not able to take the reverses, negatives in our life. We are not ready to take. So sometimes somehow the dependents feel that time that let us not even inform them that there's such terminal cancer or their days are counted. They seem to keep telling them that you're all right, the treatment will be fine, like this, and suddenly they die. Otherwise, it's actually said that we should prepare for death. So we are not even giving them the information that they are dying. So we are seeing so many of our devotees, close devotees only, in the devotee circle itself, we are seeing they are not informed that they're about to die. They're made to believe as if they are in some difficulty with health, they'll still continue to live. So it is all like this now. So we are driven by so many circumstances around us today, ourselves, our community, our family. But suppose if the culture is over time, this may change. Kali Yuga, we are in a particular point of time, 21st century, in the midst of Kali Yuga, materialistic life. So as the culture is again slowly revived, then I think people will again start preparing, and then anyway, so it is better to inform. And sometimes we have also seen some Prabhupada disciples and all that. So when they were in a difficult stage like this, they voluntarily accepted. There are some methods of treatment, some stage, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and all that. But the chances, even the doctors say, are very less. So they refuse to take that. They say, let me die. Without that, let me die. So there are people. So that means they are really determined, and one way they're already like fixed. They're ready. They've made themselves ready. Because if given a chance, as you said, I will also not say that, oh, I'm prepared, let me die now. No, I'm not prepared. Still, let some more days be given. Let a chance be given. So it's all individual, our situation, our position.
But one thing is that, Prabhuji, right now, I've heard that if a patient is so very in distress, he can ask for his own end. I've heard. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, that is also there. Yeah, that is also
they
one
can
point. People put a euthanasia. That is sometimes
euthanasia.
that is legally the government steps in or the court steps in and they give. But that is not advised by the scriptures, whichever way. So it says that we are not able to permanently take out the karma. So now I take out again, it is going to come to me.
That's
and
right.
because I'm taking the life, I am becoming even more responsible. So it's like as if it's just like suicide. Suicide, I'm not supposed to. So I'm asking somebody to take my life. So that way, even though, even as per law, trying to commit suicide, so it's illegal. Similarly, if we ask somebody to take my life, so that is also illegal. Yes, yes, Mataji.
True. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
But Prabhuji, can I ask one question? But that Prabhuji, sometimes the treatments they are given to even decrease the suffering. It's not that only that we are prolonging life or something, but those are the people who are really suffering in pain and all. So sometimes then we cannot say that we are treating it in the way to fight. We are trying to go against nature or against the will. But then when suffering is reduced with the medication, I think that should be welcome. No, that cannot be denied to the patient.
Okay. At least they may be able to chant. They may be able to hear. They may be able to do devotional service like that. Okay, if that's way they can take advantage, that is fine. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
Like we have the example of Guru Maharaj also. No, he's suffering so much. He goes to the doctor and he's there for us. So that's really a blessings.
Yeah, it is beyond understanding, beyond how in that condition he is able to.
So as long we have the body, we have to maintain it
Yeah.
well, no, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
As long as we have the body, we have to maintain it well and serve Lord Krishna. That's it.
I think Guru Maharaj has separated the
Krishna,
body from soul.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
His body and soul are
Maharaj
separate.
is not suffering. He is really in bliss.
Not suffering actually.
He's
See,
not suffering at
little
all.
people think they say it is
Bliss.
suffering, but it's not suffering.
Yeah.
Our Guru Maharaj, there is no bodily concept. He's God
Yes,
conscious. So
He's in
he
bliss.
never feel like this.
Yes, that will, it's understood, but he's taken to the hospital and all this procedures. So this is just
He's
That
preaching
is-
there
that
also
is
to
the
the
long as we are,
nurses,
yes,
to the,
in a spiritual manner, he's not suffering, but that is at least we are in this material body, so we have to go to the hospital so far as to take care of ourselves, because that does not come just with a fever or something like that, right? We have to
Exactly.
keep
That
ourselves
does not
healthy.
come on its own.
Yeah. So we have to go to the hospital. We have to take care.
yeah, as you're all discussing, it's individual, each person
I know.
with that particular situation, so they can derive the appropriate instructions and apply. Yes, we cannot make it universal like
Thank you
that.
so much.
Yes, we cannot make it universal. That's correct.
Hare Krishna.
What is-
Sorry, Prabhu, I have an extension of this question. Just one doubt. Prabhu, as per scriptures, I did not read it, but I've been hearing people telling that when you die, like when we die, we can't do organ donation. Is it true or not? Because there are also some of very senior devotees who have actually done organ donation and all. And I have not come across any scriptural evidence of that. So does it say we should not? And if so, should we do or should we refrain?
Same example, our Guru Maharaj got organ donation for so many years, but again that has failed. But he was also because somebody donated like that, then could live. So that was definitely, it was for so many years, it was helpful like that.
Sure.
So we cannot
Okay,
say
Prabhu.
that it
We
is,
should not. Okay.
Yeah, cannot say that.
Clear, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So we go for organ donation, Mataji.
Actually, Mataji, I heard that I had had this question I had asked specifically in Mayapur. I was told we should not donate the organs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was told. I was also interested, but they said,
It may be misused or something like that. No,
yes,
that's
yes, Mataji. And who takes it, we don't know. His karma, we do not know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
it is
Srivatsa Prabhu
using
just
his
answered.
thing to cultivate sense gratification more, and
Mataji, we can do
we are
one
also
thing.
taking part.
Yes.
We can give it to
we
a
are helping him.
That we
devotee.
have done.
One second, Mataji. Prabhu is saying something. Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mataji. So we are participating in their sense gratification. So we gave them eyesight again, or we give them another bodily part. So they use that to continue their sense gratification. So we are making them more and more go into hellish life. So we are becoming part of that.
Yes.
But if some
We have to
devotees,
refrain.
then definitely I think we
Prabhu,
should
only
not.
one doubt I have is, since I come from a medical background, at least in India, you can't really work towards, I will give the eye and my kidney and this to the devotee. You understand, no, Prabhu? Because it goes in a
Systems
queue.
are not like that. Okay.
Exactly. So we don't have the facility. And I'm going back to what Namnishta Prabhu told me once and connecting that. He said, Krishna is not a machine. So we can only best hope that whatever we have donated goes to the devotee. Right, Prabhu? Because we don't have control. So with that thought, to leave the rest to Krishna. And thanks for sharing, Prabhu. I think it's a very valid point that our Guru Maharaj, Jayapadika Guru Maharaj, himself today is largely present because of organ donation which he received, right? So with that in mind, we'll go with what our Guru Maharaj has done. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
You can do one thing, Prabhuji. Say Krishna Arpana and give the donation.
Hare Bol.
And it will go to Krishna only.
Yeah.
Okay, if that is
Yes,
all,
Prabhu.
so we'll end up for a day. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu. I'll stop live.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice. Yeah.
Kripa Sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
The Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.